Hello and welcome to a quick unboxing and a quick review of the Citizen Skyhawk AT. This is the Pro Master Series, so PMV65-2241. These watches only come in titanium. There are two of them, a black and a silver version. These are basically the higher end model of the standard Skyhawk series watches, which I believe they are the JY0050, etc., etc. Let's go! So as you can see, it comes in this little box. It just arrived this morning, straight from Taiwan, in fact, as that's the only place in the world that they make them. And I'm sorry, where I can get them from online. They don't sell this Pro Master Series officially in any other country, so you have to get them from there, which is what I did. No problem for me. It comes in this black box, which I believe is standard in most of the top-end Citizen watches. Ta-da! Alright, here we have the watch, the guarantee card, the warrant, yep, and the manual, which is only in Chinese. So luckily I could find the in manual, both standard and interactive manual actually, which is very good of Citizen online. Let's get going on the watch. Now, as you can see here, this looks identical to the standard Skyhawk, which, when I say standard, I mean the stainless steel one or the titanium version Skyhawk. This has the exact same dimensions, same wrist part here, same bezel, same face. They have the identical software or brain are both the same. The antenna is the same. So it's not going to look or feel that alien to someone who's familiar with this watch. But one thing, or a couple things that I can bring up that are different, and I'll start with, let me just take this retainer out. We'll start with the actual material that it's made of. As I said, the Pro Master only comes in titanium, and the standard Skyhawk, there is one version which comes in titanium as well. However, the difference between that titanium and this one is that the Pro Master series has a Duratec coating, which prevents any scratches from forming on the titanium. As we all know, the way that we are from day to day, especially if we have an active lifestyle, you'll notice that as you bang your watch around, eventually it's going to start forming scratches, which I've read on forums that even the titanium is prone to that eventually. So it's good to know that this Duratec has an extra layer of coating, which also, by the way, darkens the metal quite a bit. It gives it a more dark metal look, which I'm quite pleased with, as I've compared the standard titanium with this titanium. I had both watches, I sold the other one. This is a tad darker, so it looks a bit more, well, I wouldn't say cooler, but it's just an added effect. So that's the first difference that the Pro Master series has. The second difference is that the mineral glass is no longer standard mineral. Well, I don't know what mineral glass is made of. Just I'm assuming some better quality glass that's used on watches. This one comes with a sapphire glass, double anti-reflecting glass, which is another bonus to add to the scratch resistiveness to the watch. So that's another good thing, and it also makes the face much clearer. Actually, I was reading about this before I got the watch, and I was doubtful at how much clearer can the sapphire glass make, but it does. The actual curvature of the watch magnifies it just a tad, and makes things much clearer. So I'm glad that they came with that. Another difference that the Pro Master series has is the clasping mechanism. It has a fold-over locking mechanism on top of the standard clasp. So as you can see here, this is not included with the standard Skyhawk series, which is another benefit in my eyes, because the standard one has this opposable locking mechanism, which is quite easy to disengage. So, you know, maybe you get your sleeve caught in something, or even if someone tries to steal it from you, it's not the hardest thing in the world. So that's good that it has the locking mechanism on top. And another bonus, which I think is a fantastic little thing that they've added, is it has an adjustable part to the wrist and the size of it. As you can see here, we have one size, and then as you know your day progresses, or you start sweating, or if it's warm outside, it expands, your wrist expands, and then when it gets cold, your wrist will shrink just a bit, obviously. But sometimes you might find that your watch might be a bit too tight or a bit too loose because your skin is expanded a bit. Now this can accommodate that. As you can see, you press the second set of adjustable buttons here, and you can adjust your clasp up to 3 different steps. So this is the tightest, this is the medium, and that's out. I don't know if you can see that, but it really makes a big difference. I've seen this on several watches, more notably the Rolex Deep Sea Dweller. So they use it and it works for them, and you know, this is a very good feature for day-to-day activities. Now, the actual watch itself, I'm very pleased with. As I told you, I have received it this morning. And I started off with the unboxing and resetting instructions, which was very easy, although this watch is full of features, too many, in fact, probably overwhelmingly so. But anyway, the best part of it was it did it all on its own. What you have to do is tell it that you're going to reset it. So you pull the crown out 2 steps, press these 2 buttons, hold it, and then it'll do a master reset. Which is then followed by, you have to fool around with a couple buttons, but it's very simple though, once you follow the instructions on the manual. Within 6-7 minutes, in my case, it received the exact time for my location, the calendar information, and also the UTC time. Which I'm UTC and my time is the same thing basically, just I'm an hour ahead as I'm in London. But I was impressed at how quickly it did that for me, and it also updates itself every single day, unless you tell it not to, between the hours of 2 and 4 a.m. It'll keep trying every hour to get the exact information. That way, at the start of each day, you have the exact atomic time. Now, that's not to say that this isn't going to lose. I'm sorry, that's not to say this is an inaccurate timepiece. I think it's just as an added measure, since it has the receiver in there. They might as well use it every single day. It has a solar panel inside. That's why it's the Eco Drive, which supposedly you'll never need to replace the battery. On a full charge, they claim 180 days once it goes on standby, which I've read that within 6 hours of the face not receiving any light, it will switch off the 2 LCD screens, which doesn't matter because you wouldn't see them anyway in the dark. And then within, I believe, 7 days or a few days, I have to check. But the point is that within a certain amount of time after that, it'll switch everything off and put the hands of the time back up to 0 until it notices a light hitting the face, and then it'll activate everything up again because it keeps the time internally. So that's another bonus if you wanted to keep it. If you have long periods of time where you won't be facing sun. Now, it doesn't charge only with sun, it charges with fluorescent lights, even on overcast. So that's a very good thing. It's very usable, very practical, and incredibly light. I was surprised at how light this watch is. As you can see, I don't have the biggest wrist in the world, but I don't have the smallest either. And you can see that it's not exactly a peewee of a watch. So it looks good. It's very detailed. It looks very, I wouldn't say rugged, but it has character and very usable. My only gripe is that if you want to switch between modes, for example, if I were to go from calendar to chronograph, I have to flick the switch from under the crown and turn it to tell it that I want to get into chronograph mode, and then push us back in. Now that would be kind of difficult when it's on here, because the way that watch is designed, I suppose. But anyway, you come over that fairly quickly, as you have to accommodate that minor flaw in the design. But other than that, I mean, so far I'm very, very impressed with the watch, and I'm looking forward to several years with it. I mean, I have many watches, but this will be another addition to my collection. Anyway, thanks for watching, and there you have the Pro Master Series of the Skyhawk AT in titanium.